All right, so in closing, we remember John 3:16 tells us the greatest love story of all time. And it is also the story of the greatest rescue mission of all time. When God sent his son Jesus on a mission to rescue you and I. 2 Corinthians 5:21 says, "For God made Jesus, who knew no sin, to what?" We could stop right there. That just blows me away. He who knew no sin, the perfect lamb, the perfect sacrifice. He what? Became sin. So that we would be made the righteousness of God. Now that's a love story. Jesus came on a mission to rescue you. Then he said, okay, now you go. You go. And you rescue the lost. You rescue the hurting. You rescue the depressed. You rescue the suicidal. You rescue the bipolar. You rescue the oppressed. You go. You go. Because I paid the price for you to go. And I have sealed you with the fire of my love and my passion and my power. Now you go and you rescue them. Let them feel my love burning in your heart. Let them know who I am and who they are to me, how much I love them. Pour your healing oil by my Spirit upon their heart so they would be healed, so they can receive my love in its fullness and love others the way I love them. Then teach them about me and reproduce the Christ that is in you, and do this with a vision of multiplication, alive by my fire. That vision of multiplication is the same vision that God gave to Abraham in Genesis 12:1-3, and it is yours because of Galatians 3:29. And your vision that God has made available to you because of Galatians 3:9 says that your descendants will be as the stars of the sky and the sand of the seashore. Do you see them? Do you see them? Jesus came to rescue you so you could fulfill your purpose. And your purpose, as I said before, is the same as it was for Adam and Eve. They were made in his image and they were to be fruitful and multiply. Same with you and I. He wants us, by the power of the Holy Spirit, to be made in the image of Christ and multiply the Christ in us, building our spiritual reward that will last throughout eternity. Now when God, as I said before, when God gave the vision in Genesis 12:1-3 to Abraham, he didn't even have one child, but his family was within him. And it's same with you and I. You may say, I have no disciples, but I say to you, your disciples, your spiritual family is within you. Like Abraham, your prosperity and my prosperity is in our posterity, in our spiritual family. And God made this promise to you and gave you the power of the Holy Spirit to fulfill it. You know, discipleship, which is something I know we really need more of in the church, because discipleship is about establishing your true identity. You see, when we reach out and we win, okay, the identity is not yet fully established. They are one to the Lord, but then now the work of discipleship should begin. and we establish their true identity. And what is that true identity? Christ. It is Christ. Discipleship begins after you are rescued. You can't get your right identity without the Holy Spirit. So you have to be rescued. And then in turn you go, and by the power of the Holy Spirit, you rescue others. The more effective you are, the more effective you are at your rescue mission, listen to this, the more it rescues you. Wow. The more effective you are. So the more you go and rescue others, okay, you get better. Because the more you do your job, right, the better you get at it, okay? So the more effective you are at your rescue mission, the more it rescues you. And I thought of Paul. Wow. He was about his rescue mission. But you know what? He said those 3 words, I die daily. This is the great Apostle Paul. Because you know what? The more you are about your rescue mission, the more you are reflected in the lives of those you rescue. And so your flaws are reflected. Because you see, you always reproduce who you are. A mango tree will always reproduce another mango tree, right? So you will always see the Christ in you, in your disciples that you rescue, but you will also see your flaws, because as I said, you reproduce who you are. That's why Paul said, I die daily. And that is one of the things where when we disciple, when we become more effective at it, it rescues us, because we see the need to die to ourselves. We realize that we're not all that and a bag of chips. Okay? So if Paul can say it, how much more do we need to say? John 12:24 says, very truly I tell you, unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. See, that's the other thing about dying to yourself. It allows for the multiplication. God never wanted us to be alone. He wants us to be a part of a spiritual family. And dying to ourselves facilitates that. So will you allow him, if you are here tonight and you have never been rescued by Jesus, will you allow him to rescue you? And will you play your role to fulfill the great rescue mission? I can tell you, it's the best decision you will ever make on earth. And one that will lead to you enjoying the reward of your legacy for all eternity. God bless you.